Have you ever watched your dog stare intently into a mirror? Maybe bark, wag its tail, or even try to play with the other dog it sees. It's a classic, often amusing behavior. But it begs a fascinating question. Do dogs know they're looking at themselves? This simple interaction opens up a deep and complex world of animal consciousness, self-awareness, and the unique way our canine companions perceive reality. Today, we're diving deep into the mind of a dog to unravel the mystery of the mirror. To understand a dog's reaction, we first need to talk about the mirror test. A famous psychological experiment developed in 1970 by Gordon Gallup. Junior, the test is designed to determine if an animal possesses the ability of visual self-recognition. It's quite simple in principle. An animal is discreetly marked with a spot of odorless dye on a part of its body it could unnormally see, like its forehead or ear. Then, it's placed in front of a mirror. If the animal touches or investigates the mark on its own body after seeing it in the reflection, it's considered to have passed the test, suggesting it understands the reflection is of itself. So, who passes this test? Well, a surprisingly exclusive club. Great apes like chimpanzees, bonobos, and orangutans often pass. So do dolphins, orcas, Eurasian magpies, and even some elephants and manta rays. But what about dogs? Over and over again, when subjected to the classic mirror test, dogs fail. They don't use the mirror to investigate the mark on their own bodies. Instead, they typically react in one of three ways. First, they might treat the reflection as another dog, showing social behaviors like playbows, barking, or even aggression. Second, after a while, they might just ignore it, learning that the mirror dog isn't very interactive. Or third, some dogs show fear or anxiety, perhaps unsure of this strange, silent visitor in their home. But does failing the mirror test mean dogs have no self-awareness? Not so fast. The test is heavily biased towards vision, which makes sense for humans and primates, as sight is our primary sense. We navigate and understand the world largely through our eyes. But dogs? Their world is a world of scent. A dog's sense of smell is estimated to be 10,000 to 100,000 times more powerful than ours. They have up to 300 million olfactory receptors in their noses, compared to our mere 6 million. A huge portion of their brain is dedicated to analyzing smells. For a dog, identity isn't about what you look like. It's about what you smell like. So, if we were to design a mirror test for a dog, it should probably involve smell, not sight. And that's exactly what cognitive biologist Alexandra Horowitz did. In a 2017 study, she presented dogs with their own urine scent, the scent of another dog, and their own scent that had been modified with an additional unfamiliar odor. The results were telling. Dogs spent significantly more time sniffing the modified version of their own scent than they did the unaltered version or the scent of other dogs. This suggests they recognized their own scent, noticed it was different, and were investigating the change. It's like looking in the mirror and noticing a smudge on your face. This is the sniff test of self-recognition, and dogs pass it with flying colors. It points to a form of self-awareness, just one that's rooted in their olfactory world. They have a concept of self, but that self is defined by a unique scent signature, not a visual image. So, what's actually happening when your dog barks at its reflection? In their minds, they're likely seeing another dog. Because the reflection doesn't have a scent, it's a very confusing and strange dog. It mimics their every move perfectly, but has no smell and makes no sound. For a young puppy, this can be an exciting playmate. They might bow, wag, and try to initiate play. As they get older, most dogs habituate. They learn through experience that the dog in the mirror poses no threat and offers no real social interaction. It's just a part of the scenery. They essentially come to see it as something uninteresting and not worth their energy. Which is why many adult dogs completely ignore mirrors. This difference in perception highlights the concept of Umwelt, a term from biology that means the specific perceptual world an organism lives in. A human's umwelt is dominated by sight and sound. A bat's umwelt is a world of echoes and high-frequency sound. A dog's umwelt is a rich tapestry of smells. They smell the history of who's been in a room, the emotional state of the people around them, and even subtle changes in the weather. Their own body is a source of a constant, familiar scent that forms their sense of self. When they look in a mirror, they see a shape that looks like a dog. But it lacks the most crucial piece of information for identification: a scent. Without that scent profile, the image in the mirror is just a stranger, not me. This has profound implications for how we understand our dogs. It's a reminder that they don't experience the world the same way we do. When we communicate with them, we're crossing a sensory divide. Their lack of visual self-recognition isn't a sign of lesser intelligence. It's a testament to their different evolutionary path. They have a sophisticated sense of self, just one that's built on a foundation we can barely imagine. They know who they are, not by seeing their face, but by smelling their own unique essence in the world. Let's think about their social structure. In the canine world, scent is everything. Dogs use urine and scent glands to mark territory, signal their status, and communicate with other dogs over long distances and time. When two dogs meet, they engage in an intricate ritual of sniffing to gather information about each other's age, sex, health, and even mood. This olfactory information is far more detailed and important to them than visual cues. A dog's appearance is secondary to its scent profile. So a scentless image in a mirror, no matter how much it looks like them, is fundamentally an incomplete and puzzling entity. It's also interesting to consider how this affects their relationship with us. Dogs can recognize us in photos, which shows they do have good visual recognition skills for others. But their primary way of identifying us is still through scent and sound. That's why your dog might get excited when they hear your car pull up or smell your jacket. They've built a multisensory picture of who you are. Their self-concept is similar. It's a composite of their smell, their body's physical sensations, and their place within their social group. The next time you see your dog puzzling over a mirror, remember what's going on inside their head. They aren't vainly admiring their reflection, nor are they blissfully unaware. They are processing a strange visual phenomenon through the lens of a scent-based reality. They're encountering a visual form that lacks the very essence of identity as they know it. It's a ghosted dog that looks like a dog but has no soul, or rather, no scent. So, do dogs recognize themselves in the mirror? Visually? No. But do they have a sense of self? Absolutely. It's just written in a language of molecules and odors, a beautiful and complex self-portrait that we, with our vision-centric minds, can only begin to appreciate. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the canine mind. If you found this as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Canine Secrets for more explorations into the amazing world of animals. What has your dog's reaction to mirrors been? Let us know in the comments below.